You're listening to A Virtual Review, the podcast about a variety of topics, including technology, entertainment, home improvement, staying healthy, and holiday lighting. Hello, everyone. My name is Kevin.
My name's Matt.
Today we're talking about The Falcon and the Winter Soldier, Episode 3, titled Power Broker. The length of this episode and the content in this episode, it's insane. I watched it through, and as I was telling you, Matt, I took 6.5 pages of notes from that's from the major stuff, not even the smaller stuff that I noticed. What about you, Matt?
I know you said no more 2-hour podcast, Kevin, but I'm afraid this one might go a little.
We might push this a little bit, yeah. So with this one, Sam and Bucky go to a criminal safe haven to find out information about the super soldier serum, and so we start off with this commercial for the GRC, and it's all about how to rejoin society, and it was like watching like a Zoloft commercial or something.
It was, yeah, that was it, and the contrast between that and the next scene, you know, was just like night and day.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
We're here to help you. We're gonna come get you.
Right. Well, that's you know that's ideally versus reality.
yeah, you got it, man.
Yeah. So Captain America. You know what? I'm gonna stop calling him Captain America because he's not Captain America. We're gonna call new name for him is Current. You call him what?
I call him Walker.
Oh, okay.
I can't do it, man. I can't call him. To me, there's only one Captain America.
I was labeling him as Current Captain America.
Yeah, that's a good. Yeah, that's a good one. A good one.
So Walker, we'll call him Walker.
All right.
Of course, I'll get messed up on this later. Walker and the squad go to Munich, Germany, because they're looking for Carly Morgenthal,
right?
And the rest of the Flag Smashers after they got their butts beat, you know. And
right.
I don't remember where they were when they were beat up, but
they seem to hop around the Eastern Bloc there quite a bit.
Yeah,
especially in this episode.
And I think Walker was kind of questioning why people are sticking with them and the Flag Smashers, and Battlestar mentions that while she's giving displaced people shelter and medicine, and why wouldn't that be appealing? So that's part of the problem is part of the opposition is they're facing.
Yeah, and you see that in this scene here with I believe this is the same hiding place that gave them shelter in the last episode. So they catch up to him, and the guy literally spits in the face of Captain America.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, that was a great scene of, do you know who I am? Yeah, I know who you are, and I don't care either.
Yeah, and that's the thing. What kind of guy says that? A guy trying to flaunt his power.
Right.
That's what kind of guy we're looking at here.
Yeah, because Steve would have never said that. Steve would have never said, "You know who I am."
It's like, man, this is a clear sign that the power is going to his head. I mean,
quickly.
You get a hint. Yeah, you get a hint of that in the police station.
Right.
Last episode, but here, man, you literally get the guy saying, "Don't you know who I am?"
Right.
And that is the quintessential
opposite of everything supposed to be.
Right.
Yeah.
But they find nothing, right?
Right. Yeah, but because she's not there, and because he's only looking for her, and of course she's not there, and I mean that it fuels his frustration, and because I think he's assuming that this would be a fairly easy thing to do, to track them down, hunt them down, and capture them, and because it's not going so well, you can tell that he's getting angry because this isn't going according to plan.
No,
and it's like, dude, welcome to Avenger missions.
Yeah. I mean, it's hard for So you got the backing of the entire uh, government, even this GRC, who I think is more of a global
Yeah.
corporation.
Yeah.
They they can't even find them, you
Right.
know. So that just goes to kind of show you how hard it is to find anybody if they don't want to be found, you
Right.
know.
Yeah. Well, I
But
mean, especially after everything that's happened.
yeah, but after that we get to Zemo finally.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. So yeah. So
What'd you think of that?
that was well. I mean, there's some unexpected things that happen there when they're going in to see him. Of course, Bucky goes in alone because he tells
Hmm.
Sam, I know I speak Hydra. Let me go in and
Right.
talk to him.
Did I do like it when shows go when they need help. I like it when they go to the bad guys, kind of like Hannibal Lecter type scenes
Yeah.
where
Yeah.
you know you you got to go to the source, and
Got it.
sometimes to fight evil you need to talk to evil and work with evil, or things like that
Well,
to pick their brains.
yeah, it's and it's sort of the same thing with that and Mindhunter and all these
Yeah,
shows that they go and
yeah,
talk to
one of my favorite
the
shows.
right the evil people to see how their brain works
Yeah.
and and so Bucky tells Zemo that someone's making super soldier serum and
Mm-hmm.
who might it be and oh, you think because I work with Hydra you think I have all the answers. You seem desperate.
Right, yeah.
Man, Zemo knows how to push Bucky's buttons just
Oh,
perfectly at the right time, saying the littlest thing.
that's his superpower,
Yeah.
it's his mind, which is I didn't get, you know, I didn't get too much uh vibe at first, but after soon as we got to look into Baron Zemo, then I was like, all right, cool. They're actually going to make this some kind of canon character.
Yeah.
They're saying I'm just not just a Helmet Zero. He's Baron Zemo from the comics, and he's got cash. He's got this garage full of
Cars
toys,
and
toy
yeah.
cars. But I guess we skipped the prison break, which was pretty cool.
Yeah, they go into Bucky and Sam go into this garage and they're and Bucky's telling him, "Listen, we need to break him out so he can help us." And Sam says, "How are you going to break him out?" Well, it's pretty simple. All you do is this, and
Yeah.
this. And as he's describing this, you see you see
What if
Zemo and
what if I did this and what if I did that?
right,
And then it's like sounds like, why are you telling me this? What did you do? What did you It's like you're
where
yelling at your dog. What did you do?
right, where are we at? All of a sudden, Zemo comes out. Oh no,
Yeah.
you're going back. No, 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 no.
It was pretty cool little way of passing the time instead of going through this huge jailbreak scene. You got kind of a
Yeah,
Ocean's 11 style breakout,
yeah.
which was pretty cool.
Because I mean, they could have easily just taken the entire him getting breaking out of prison as an entire episode. They could have
For
made that a full
sure.
episode. But
Yeah.
I love that they really sped it up. Still gave you the details of how he did it,
Yeah.
but it went by in I don't know, maybe a minute.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's
So
that's what was great about that scene was honestly all we needed to know was that they broke him out. You
right,
know what I mean? That he broke him out and it didn't take long
but
because he's
yeah,
Bucky and and
and
he's Zemo.
right,
And
and the
that's
fact
all you needed to know.
in watching this, the fact that went so quickly, I thought, okay, there's going to be a lot more to this episode, and there was. I mean, that
And
just
there
shows you
was.
how much
Yeah.
content they put in this episode. So
Right.
yeah, so Zemo meets up with Sam and Bucky in this garage, and the Sam and Bucky discuss what they're trying to do with Zemo, and Zemo tells them, well, with any organization, you need to start at the bottom. and I know exactly who to go talk to. Let's go talk to Selby.
Right. In Mandapur.
Right, in Mandapur.
Madripoor. So, yeah. I mean, and as they're flying to Madripoor, we get that little scene. Of course, we get the showing of Baron Zemo,
Yeah.
that he's rich.
You have a
He's got
plane?
these cars.
Yes, I'm very wealthy. You just happen to lock me up.
He's got like 20 of these like amazing cars from, I don't know, what year were those cars? Like from the 20s?
That's like the one detail I didn't pay attention to.
Okay.
They're an older style car though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, but I'm thinking they're from the 20s, but yeah, and he just picks and chooses things, and he grabs his mask and his jacket, and which it definitely harkens back to his old his comic book look, I'll say. And before this show started, I saw this interview. Actually, there were a couple interviews with this guy Andy Park, and he was the concept designer for. Well, he's a concept artist for a lot of Avengers and for Marvel. Basically, he's like one of the lead designers, if not the lead artist. And he was a concept artist for Wanda. He designed Wanda's
Scarlet Witch costume.
Right.
Okay.
At the end there. And then he also said he designed Baron Zemo's outfit back when Civil War was happening.
Okay.
And he posted it on his Instagram page. And it's a really cool design. He was really happy that they took that design and brought it to life. They didn't in Civil War, but they brought it to life in this show, which was cool.
Yeah.
So you get like his signature kind of collar, like this furry collar, and he got this purple mask, and he's got like a purple shirt and stuff, so that was kind of cool. I put a link to that in the show notes if people want to check out Andy Park stuff. But
yeah,
he made his rounds on some podcasts, and what a great interview this guy was, because he had a bunch of information on the MCU and how the artists were. At one time, they were all independent, and then Feige was like, "Okay, we need to have our own art group."
Yeah,
and so they brought this guy in, and he's a great interview, but a great artist too, of course. But he's got a really cool Instagram page. But
yeah, I'll have to check that out later.
Yeah, he's good. But in the plane though, Zemo picks Bucky's pocket and he pulls out Steve's book, which we didn't know was Steve's, but it's Bucky's book of redemption, and it's Steve's book.
Yeah, he starts looking through it, and he says, "Oh, I see names that you're trying to reconcile with, and I noticed this one of particular interest, Nakajima."
Right.
And that just goes right back to the boy. He knows how to push the right button at the right time. And of course, Bucky gets mad and tells him to drop it, and they get this little fight, and it's
well, it kind of also ties back to Sam and Steve, when Sam first met Steve, and how he was telling him music to listen to.
Yeah.
He mentioned Marvin Gaye, and so they brought up Marvin Gaye, which was kind of cool. You kind of get this link back to Sam and Steve meeting for the first time, which was kind of cool.
Yeah.
This mirror back to that movie was really well done, I thought. They jumped around so much in this episode, man.
They did.
They go back to Latvia.
And but hold on, before that, I want to bring up this point. Maybe you can remember this reference
Yeah.
better than I can. So
Hmm.
after that confrontation with Zemo asking about Nakajima and Bucky getting mad and all that,
Yeah.
Zemo starts talking about why he has a problem with superheroes, and he brings up this
Hmm.
point about when superheroes rise, this brings about conflict, war, and death that we wouldn't normally have. That's why he doesn't like superheroes. And I'm trying to remember there was another movie or a show that talked about when and maybe it was even Marvel.
Batman.
It was
Batman.
okay, Batman.
Yeah.
That's what it was. It
Yeah. Would
talked
there
about
be all these villains if there wasn't a Batman?
right that
Yeah.
that you're right. He developed a theory of I hope I'm not bringing out more people being this character, being this person. So
Yeah.
I thought that was interesting that for one thing, I mean it explains why he feels that way about superheroes, and
Mm-hmm.
it was it was a good tie back to that.
For sure. Yeah. Good point. Yeah.
Yeah.
Good point. He. That's definitely his gig. He doesn't like the superheroes, and I get it, man. But
Yeah, I mean that's going a bit
uh,
extreme.
that's well, he's so upset about you know
uh,
Scovia,
yeah, Sokovia,
what
right?
they did to him personally. So
Yeah. So back to your point of we
yeah, no,
get
I'm
back
glad you
to
brought that up.
we get
I'll
to
talk
the
about Batman all day long.
um
But
so, yeah,
yeah, Latvia, right?
right, Rigva, Latvia,
Yeah,
the GRC
and
resettlement camp.
right, and Carly is cozying up to this lady who's sick, and what I really picked up on was that pendant and the hand with the world, and that's where she came up with the augmented red hand symbol was this pendant. So that was
Now
kind of a neat
what's
touch.
funny is I completely missed that.
Okay.
I was probably busy writing a note and I
Yeah,
missed that.
probably. Well, she had you just it's like if you blink you missed it, right?
Yeah, yeah.
And it was this little it was like a little hand like this and it had a world in the it was just like
Okay.
but
It
it
was
was like more
yeah.
together, you know.
Okay.
It was
Okay.
if you blinked you missed it and um I thought, "Oh man, that's where she got the symbol," you know.
Okay. So on to
So yeah, man, Madripoor. Let's go down this rabbit hole. Holy crap, man! It's like I I don't know how much. I know you're a big Marvel guy. Did you know much about Madripoor before
no,
we
not at
started?
all. I when they mentioned the name and I knew there was going to be some significance to it,
Yeah,
and I must have missed this day in Marvel Geek Camp because I I don't know much about.
Marvel geek. Yeah, man. I mean, I I've heard of it because I've read quite a few Wolverine solo comics, and he's done quite a bit in Madripoor, but I didn't realize it was as big as it really was in the Marvel
Yeah,
universe, or you know,
like you put that into Google Madripoor and Marvel, and holy cow,
jeez,
the
I
amount
mean,
of
it's
content that comes up. I was a little shocked at how much I didn't know already
yeah,
about what was going on there.
and that's what's great about doing stuff like this is you get to pick up on all these new little nuances, you know,
Right.
but yeah, we get Madripoor, man.
Yeah.
And how cool is it seeing these three goofballs just walking down the middle of the road, just styling and profiling, and
Right.
we get we get uh, Sam dressed up. He thinks he's dressed up like a pimp, and and he's like, "No, you're smiling tiger." He's like,
Right.
"Smiling
Smiling
tiger."
tiger.
You're coming. Who is canon, right? And
Yeah.
as we come to find out, I didn't pick that up, but I found that out through my searches, and um, so and then Bucky's wearing his gear, you know.
Right.
But you know what it reminded me of? I watch quite a bit of cyberpunk stuff, and it
Okay.
really reminded me. The city itself
Yeah.
reminded me of a cyberpunk city.
Okay.
Like you had the very rich and the very poor, and it's usually the very poor is abused and um, beat down by the very rich, and
Yeah.
so that was very. I got and the neon signs and the neon lights and stuff like that really
Yeah.
screams cyberpunk, and so I just really love this version of Madripoor that they're coming out with the high town, low town. Uh, First off, when they're going through the town, I I was looking for little Easter eggs and things like that.
There's
Did
a lot of
you?
them.
Yeah, I mean the one that I was really looking for and that I found was the Princess Bar,
Yes.
and that one was to me the big surprise, and I was really hoping for it, and we got it right.
Right.
So, which of course is linked to Wolverine, and when he goes to Madripoor, you know, some people say he's a silent partner of the bar,
Yeah.
and he visits there. He's in disguise as Patch, but I didn't really pick up on I never really picked up on the fact that Power Broker ran Madripoor, so that must be something new for that the MCU is doing.
Yeah. Yeah. I think it is. Yeah. I didn't really have many notes on that, but yeah, I was picking up on that too. That he's pretty big time.
Yeah, he's the judge, jury, executioner seems
Right.
like, but Zemo takes him into this bar, and like I immediately I saw those monkey heads,
Yeah.
and I'm like, man, that's got to mean something. And I had to dig a little bit, and I don't know if they went to. It doesn't really come out and tell you they went to the Brass Monkey Saloon, but I'm assuming
Yeah, because
that
they don't
they
show you what bar they went into.
not really, but
It just all
they
of a sudden you're in a bar. They're in a bar.
yeah.
Yeah.
But I think as they're walking in, part of the decorum is these brass monkey skulls
Okay.
or
Right.
these golden monkey skulls, and I think you were supposed to pick up on the fact that this could be the Brass Monkey Saloon, but um, I'm just maybe really reading into that. But
I'll take your word for it.
yeah, but so Zemo wants to meet with Selby, right?
Right. Well,
And
he goes to the. They go to the bar. Like, he says
the,
something to the bartender, and he takes out that snake from the jar. And
yeah, the usual, yes, sir.
yeah.
And yeah, Sam just takes it in stride, man. It just
Well, he's supposed.
he just
He
the
said
humor.
you're supposed to love this.
I know, man.
He
And I
hesitates, and
did.
it's oh my god.
I don't know what he cut out of that snake.
I
But
don't know either.
I
I'm
was
just,
like, oh,
it's like oh god.
yeah,
And it's that same thing that you've seen in movies where he kind of takes it and it's smooth.
right. Yeah, no chaser either, man.
Yeah.
That was funny. It's a great scene.
Yeah.
But because Zemo's trying to tell him, you gotta stay in character.
Right. You got to be this person, and he loves that stuff.
Yeah, like if we break character, we're in deep trouble.
Right.
So
And
he gets Winter Soldier to do his thing, which was pretty cool.
yeah, because someone comes up behind Zemo and puts his hand on his shoulder, like, "Hey, I've got a problem with you," and Bucky acts like he's activated and
Yeah, yeah. He was
starts kicking
definitely
butt,
under.
and then Yeah, and he's got to take orders from Zemo. Okay, pause.
Right. Yeah, that was great. It's always cool to see Winter Soldier attack.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
But um, but they meet Selby, right? They get in to
Right.
see Selby. They pass the character test there. So they
So
get in to
far.
see Selby. Yeah, so far, right? And this I did some digging on Selby because of course it's a character name, and it seems like all these characters mean something,
Right. Yeah.
but I had to kind of put two and two together, I guess, with Selby, because there was there's a few Selbys in the Marvel universe,
Yeah.
and
Yep.
and there's no Selby that looks like her. So I don't know if she is a mutant or if she's supposed to be a mutant or if she's not.
Or she's
I
just
guess
kind of
we may never find.
MCU's own thing.
Could be, yeah,
Right.
totally. We don't know.
Yeah, because the one thing I read, and I think it's actually what you may have forwarded to me, or maybe not, was that they also couldn't find a relatable reference to her, but the closest thing they found was a Selby that's a mutant. So this
Yeah.
again it's that thing of, oh, is this how we're gonna bring in the X-Men into the MCU?
Yeah, yeah, and we're hoping, right?
Yeah.
But
Which there's another I think there's another clue later on that we'll get to, but again, I'm
Okay.
probably noticing things that aren't there, but we'll talk about it.
yeah, I got some questions for you too. So when we get there, we'll talk. Um, but they're trying to find out about the super soldier serum, right?
Yes.
And she kind of gives them the lowdown because Zemo offers up the entranced
Bucky.
Bucky. So
I'll give you him for the
Right.
information.
yeah, programmed killer.
Right.
And but so we get a name, right? Dr. Wilfred Nagel.
Yes. Yes.
And we're like, all right, who's this guy? And then Sam gets the phone call.
Sarah calls him on his phone. Right.
Yeah. He's got international calling, so
damn, that's
I'm
good
Andrew
phone
Poor.
plan.
Yeah. He gets calls on the air too, man. Up
Right.
in the airplane too. So
Yeah.
but
Yes, Selby notices his hesitation to answer, and he's trying to make sure that he's pretending to be someone else. So she's like, "Answer it, I insist." On speaker.
right.
It's like, oh crap. And I got
they almost pulled it off.
right. I got such a kick out of, yeah, we laundered so much money through there, and yeah, I'm the man in
Bank.
the bank. We'll get the bank eventually.
Mackie he's just so good. Oh.
And then she calls him Sam.
Yeah, then she ruined it. Right at the very he thought he was golden, but then
Right.
oh man, she just ruined it. But
And then they kill them all.
chalk it up to sisters.
Right.
But yeah, so are you assuming that Sharon, did you pick up that was Sharon in the bar when you saw that lady put up that hood in the bar in the beginning?
Dude,
When he was
I didn't notice that at all.
Okay.
Again,
Yeah, she was in the bar.
I need to rewatch this whole episode because as you said, we need to watch this stuff twice because I was getting annoyed with myself because I paused this episode probably, I don't know, 10 times so I could take notes.
For sure. Yeah.
And even in that, I'm still missing small, little things that that I would have
Me
noticed
too.
if I just sat there and enjoyed the episode. But no, I've got to write 6.5 pages of freaking notes.
Right.
So no, I didn't see her at all. So I have zero input on that.
Well, they didn't show her face. They just saw someone put up a hood. I was like,
Well,
you
yeah.
know, I've seen her in the trailers, and I'm guessing that's Sharon.
Yeah, well, I mean,
And
given that she makes an appearance very quickly after that, I'm assuming that she was watching them and she
yeah,
was in that bar
yep.
doing that, right?
And I'm assuming that she shoots Selby because they didn't really say who did. So I'm
Yeah,
assuming
they
that
didn't, but yeah, I
she
don't know.
shot Selby to save those guys.
Right.
They get out of that mess, and I love they kind of pull like this little John Wick thing, and they put this bounty on the three amigos,
Right.
which
The
was
three
great.
best friends that anyone could have.
Yeah, man, these guys are. I didn't think it could get any better with just Bucky and Sam, and now Bucky, Sam, Zemo. I'm like, oh man,
Right.
these guys are just legit. Just love this dynamic. But yeah, they get this bounty put on them, and it was very John Wick. And we get this great line from Sam. He's like, they're trying to run, and Sam's wearing heels, which I
Oh,
didn't,
yeah.
I didn't quite pick up on.
I can't
of
run this
course.
fast in heels.
Oh man, that was great.
Yeah.
Just the comedy from these guys are great.
Yeah, there were a few nice little moments that really made me laugh, and
Yeah,
yeah,
but Sharon lives in Hightown, and she's got her little
she's doing pretty well for
setup.
herself.
Dang man, I mean, she's. It looks like she's storing and selling rare artwork to me.
Right.
I guess what's what I picked up on it.
Yeah.
Could be more, but she's basically stuck in Madripoor because there's no extradition, and they're still looking for her because she helped Sam and Cap
Right.
get their gear.
Yeah. So many
So
references back to Civil War.
Yeah, true, man. But she seems so very, very jaded about Heroes 2, just like Zemo.
Yeah,
She
a little bit.
seems, yeah, like, she's very jaded in my opinion. She's just like, wow, I never thought I would see Sharon in this way, but I guess
Well, I
they
mean,
turned on her,
after what happened, and yeah, she's
Yeah.
she's displaced herself, and
Mm-hmm.
she's got to take up a life that she didn't anticipate, and
Sure. She's got to survive, man.
yeah,
But what was great was we didn't get to see much of Hightown, but she says, don't get in trouble. Of course, then she sets him into a club,
right,
and we get this great scene of Zemo dancing. I was like, oh my
right.
god, this guy, he's probably like, man, I'm out of jail. I gotta cut loose a little bit,
Yeah.
That was just great to see.
Like, hey, I'm having a good time.
Yeah, man, he was having a great time.
Well, before that, they sit down with everyone and they tell Sharon what they're after and what they're trying to do, and she says, "Well, let me talk to a couple people and see if I can find out anything." And
Yeah,
and
thank you, yeah.
it's like 30 seconds later. Okay, I have a name for you and a location.
Yeah,
Like, what?
that was fast.
Right.
Well, and that just kind of goes to show you how. I mean, it's only been. I don't know. Did she blip or not? I'm guessing that she did not blip.
I would guess so. I would guess not also because, I mean, if she's that established, she had to have been doing things way before, because this is
6 months.
6 months.
after
I
the
don't know
blip.
that you can.
No.
Yeah.
No way. I mean, she's awesome, but not that awesome.
Yeah.
But she does find him.
Yeah.
She finds Nagel.
Yeah.
And
They go to a container yard.
Yeah, which it told me that there's a lot of import export going on there.
Right.
And even they said, this is like New York, and just exactly how much illegal business is going on in
in mass.
Madripoor is pretty, yeah, en masse, yeah. But did you get anything on the container number 4261?
I didn't. I wrote it down, but I didn't. I haven't searched anything, and I'm
Yeah,
sure it goes back to something because Marvel doesn't throw out numbers for any random
right.
reason,
I
whether we can
only think
figure it out or not.
mm, I got there is an Earth 4261
Okay.
in Marvel where all the Avengers died and a new set of heroes took over. But
Well, that's kind of. I mean, that's kind of fitting. He's trying to make, this Dr. Nagel is trying to make new super soldiers that are
mm-hmm,
different than the past. So I mean that's
right,
that's sort of a loose tie-in.
that's a good point. Yeah, and of course Zemo has a way of finding hidden things. He finds this hidden door,
You know, and
you know.
and I, and I almost thought it. I almost thought that was a trap by Sharon, because they open that
I did
container and
too.
they walk in, and you're almost expecting her to say
Shut the
something
door.
like thanks or something, and shut the door. And
Yeah, I thought, man, they're gonna shut the door.
but I like that it made it seem like that and that's not what happened, because it keeps you on your toes.
It,
It keeps you
yeah,
guessing, because right when you think you know what's going to happen, it's
yeah.
like a good horror movie. When you think you know what's going to happen and it doesn't happen,
Mm,
that's even better, because then you really
yeah.
don't know what's going to happen.
Subvert those expectations for sure. You can get the audience. You know.
Right, right. Yeah, so he starts feeling the wall, and all of a sudden,
Mm-hmm.
boom, oh, found the entrance.
Right.
It was
Right.
it was like in the second National Treasure movie, they're looking for this entrance in this cave, and it's like it's so like how in the world did you find that? But it's like he pushed on something and something else opened up, and
Yep.
the door of the rear of the container opens up, and oh,
Yeah.
here's a secret lab.
It's because it's Nicolas Cage, and in this event, it's
Right,
because it's Baron Zemo.
right.
I mean, and the dude probably has dealt with secret passages. You know, he had a
Right.
castle, and he, you know, he's just a dude, so he has to come up with these things to, you know,
It's got to have some kind of arm up on the other guys.
right,
Right.
right. So he finds the door. We established that.
Yeah.
Then there's this lab, right?
Yeah.
And they do find Nagel, and my man is working on more, more
More serum.
serum. Yeah, but we get kind of an info dump on what happened to Nagel, right?
How he got involved, and yeah, what's his what his MO is, and
Right.
yeah, that he got the blood from
Isaiah.
Isaiah. Thank you. I couldn't remember his
Yeah.
name. Yeah, he got the blood
Yeah.
from Isaiah, and no one else could figure out how to replicate that other than him.
Mm-hmm.
And he perfected it, and because he didn't want to change
Mm-hmm.
people's appearance or their bodies. He wanted to make what I call sleeper super soldiers.
Yeah.
It's that car that you think is is going to go about 20 miles an hour, and it smokes you.
Yeah. Totally. Yeah.
So
Not like
yeah.
trying to think the villain from the Incredible Hulk movie
Oh
where
yeah, I
they
know who you're talking
injected
about. Yeah.
Tim Roth with the I don't know if it was an
Was
exactly
was some kind
so
of serum.
it
Right.
was some kind of serum, but it changed him,
Right.
you know, into a monster basically,
Yeah.
where changing Isaiah's blood, like you said, that he's more like Captain America, like a sleeper, you
Yeah.
know.
Yeah. So then he tells us he made 20 vials, and
Hmm.
Carly stole them all.
We find out that she wanted to help Danya, who had TB. That's kind of why she says that's one of the reasons she stole it, but
Okay.
I don't know.
So we get this information dump from Nagel, and I ask him,
Hmm.
okay, well, do you have any vials in the lab? No, I don't have any. And Simo says, okay, thanks, and shoots him in the head.
Yeah, man. He finds
Like,
the gun. He
right?
finds the hidden gun because
Yeah,
you assume that the guy has some kind of protection.
right.
So then we get this RP. Oh, in the background, Sharon is fighting off all these bounty hunters like Atomic Blonde.
Right.
She's just like kicking everyone's ass, and she's going all John Wick
Yeah.
/ Atomic Blonde on everyone.
Yes. That's a
And
great description of it.
yeah, which was it was cool to see her
There
in
were
some fight scenes there.
Yeah.
She did well. You could tell there was a little stunt double action going on there, but
Well, I
overall
mean,
she
you
did
got that, in every fight.
for sure. Yeah, it was cool though.
Yeah. Oh, yeah,
Little
absolutely.
action, But then this RPG hits the lab. We're like,
Boom.
oh man, yeah,
I found it funny that the RPG hits the lab and all of a sudden a little fire breaks out.
yeah,
It's like, well, okay, that's kind of,
right.
but I guess that just goes to show you how protected the secret lab is that it took an
Mm-hmm.
RPG to start a little fire in this
Yeah,
lab.
yeah. That has no fire protection or fire extinguishers.
It's got a fire alarm.
Did it?
Yeah, because the lights went down, it lit up red and it was wee wee.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, you're right.
Well, I mean,
You're right.
if you looked at the looked at the lab, it kind of seemed a little old schoolish, like maybe
did.
maybe 60s 70ish style
Mm-hmm.
lab. So I don't I doubt that there would be any kind of high tech fire suppression in there, especially because they're trying to keep it hidden. So
True. Try
yeah,
to keep it as off grid as possible.
right, yeah,
Yeah. So Zemo escapes.
right,
Right? He's
right.
gone, and then you're like, oh, we figured that was happening, right?
Yeah, yeah. It's
And
at some
then
point. Yeah,
yeah, and then Sam and Bucky and Sharon, they're all pinned down. It's like an OK Corral type situation where they're screwed, right? They're
right,
gonna die, and I love this part not just because Zemo came back, but Zemo they had him sweep in like he was a hero. You know what I mean? Like
right.
he
Yeah,
hates heroes, but yet he comes in and he just saves the day like a
right.
hero. You know what I mean? I just thought,
Yeah,
oh man, that is just great. That is just great.
yeah. And
I just love that.
they're trying. Zemo leaves and they're trying to get out of this gunfire, and Sam and Bucky make a plan to get out, and I think Sam says go to the left, and
All
Bucky
right.
goes another way. He says, "Don't you know which way is left?" And Sam says, "I don't remember what the detail was, but Sam says it's in every action movie
It's in every
ever."
action. Of course, Bucky's never seen these
Right?
action movies, but that's how they get in that OK Corral situation.
Yeah.
Was themselves, arguing and not
Yeah.
working together, basically.
Right.
And Sharon's like, "Oh, you guys," but it just, man, just having Zemo save them, and he rolls up in that. I don't know what kind of it was, a Challenger or something, but
Yeah, it
he
was some
rolls
kind of
up in that
classic car.
convertible. Yeah, and we get the line.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. Because Sam gets in the back, Bucky gets in the front. Sam asks, "You aren't going to move your seat up, are you?" Bucky says, "Nope."
No,
That great
yeah, that
callback
was
to
great.
once again Civil War. When
Oh man,
Bucky was in the back and Sam wouldn't move his seat up.
just so good. Um, but so here's the question I have for you. We get out of Madripoor, right?
Yes.
And well, I guess before that we see Sharon. She's got a driver,
Yeah.
and
Yep.
she gets picked up by her driver, and she says something to the effect of, things are worse, right? So
Yeah.
something's going on there. Maybe she's working with the power broker or something. I don't really know, but we get a little last line from her. Did you get anything on that, or
No, I think I think I even missed the line of what she
yeah?
said.
But I got a question. My question for you is this: the writer is Malcolm Spellman, And man, I've been listening to a few of his interviews, and man, this guy's just amazing. He said that he likes to keep things fresh. He said that he likes to add in these characters that just come out of the blue to kind of
Okay.
inject fresh life into the his scripts.
Yeah.
Okay, and which I'm guessing is why they put these different characters in different in parts of this different timeline. But I got a lot out of that. But he what I'm trying to understand is why Madripoor.
Okay.
Did did he did he pick Madripoor to as a setting of his show for the for just these guys, or to set up his big bad, who's probably the power broker, so I'm sure is the big bad, or did Feige say to him, "We have to work in Madripoor because we want to bring in the X-Men, or we want to bring in mutants. So put Madripoor in your script somewhere." What do you think he? I don't know. Do you
I mean,
think do you
it's
think it was a Feige request, or you think it was just Malcolm Spellman going, "I love this idea of
well,
Madripoor.
well,
Let's
with
use it."
with how big Madripoor is, I kind of doubt that that was just a writer input, because how they plan these shows out. They go into these rooms and they have all these comics laid out on the walls, and they do this deep planning and future planning, and
Mm-hmm.
I really, I don't think it was just his input. I imagine with how big Madripoor is, I imagine we will see much more of it, and this will be an entryway for many other characters. Um,
Mm-hmm.
so I don't know. I not that we probably will ever know for sure, but I kind of doubt that it was just his input of having uh, that it was just the writer's input of having this city be in the show
As it just for this
just for this
season.
season, right?
Okay.
I think
Yeah,
there's a
I'm
lot more that
hoping.
can happen with that.
Oh man, there's so much, and who knows? They may tie it in with Multiverse of Madness. I don't know, but I
Right.
I really hope you're right. I hope you're right. I hope this is a way to dip in and out for the different universes to kind of cross over, kind of like a meeting point.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
hope you're right. Because I'm with you. I think that's what happened. I think Feige said we want to. This is how we want to bring these guys in, is through Madripoor and
Yeah. Because I'm
work this
yeah.
in.
I mean, I know the writers um get quite a bit of freedom with how they write the show, and they don't necessarily have to set up the next show or the next movie, or in graphic, in fine detail. um
Right.
so but I think, again, I think it's too big to not tell them, have them not be told, okay, well, we need to include this. And so I think that was probably a big in the big planning of what's coming up.
Right.
I imagine with the wealth of characters and story that can be from there and in there.
Right.
It's
Right.
it's I'm sure it's part of the bigger plan that is Marvel,
I hope so, man.
or that is
Yeah,
the
I hope so.
MCU.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. Well, glad it's there.
Yes.
So, man, I tell you what, we get like three or four, five scenes like back to back. They're very, very short.
Yeah. Yes.
We get a scene in Lithuania with Dojic and Carly, and this is where they're talking about
Yes.
Donya, and we find out this is where you were saying, don't you want to grieve, and you know,
Yeah.
uh,
And
and then we get.
and Carly asks, "Did you ever think we would end up here?"
Mm-hmm.
Because she talks a bit about how it was before the blip, and then after, and trying to survive. And she always thought she would be a teacher. And um,
Right,
I
right,
know
right.
he says that he was part of a special army or something. Like I don't really recall what he was talking about, but he was they have a brief discussion about what their life was before,
Yeah.
and
And then they met up in Mandapore, right? And that's how they got the serum.
right, yeah. Now in this scene, I noticed, and again, this could be nothing. I noticed, before they start talking, and Carly is looking at the gates with the guards. I noticed
I know what you're gonna say
there
because
was
I saw the same
a
thing.
red circled X with a blue background. I thought,
Yeah.
boy, that looks a lot like an X-Men logo.
It looks just like one. I don't know. I thought that same exact thing, but then I thought, I wonder if it just means stop.
Well,
You know what I mean?
again, it's probably one of those things that they like. Hey, let's put this on here and make them think it's this, but it just means stop.
Yeah. I'm guessing it just means stop.
It's that same thing they did with WandaVision, that pay attention to everything because it all means something, and that was for like the first 3 episodes, and after that it was all just it didn't mean anything. So I mean, it would be odd that it would be because that was the GRC supply depot, and it would be odd that if it's X-Men. Oh
It
yeah,
would.
this is the X-Men hangout.
Right. I don't think. Yeah.
But it was one of those things that it was like, hey, what are we doing here?
I don't know. It's not like remember in Captain Marvel where she says, "Wow, you guys just kind of advertise Shield like everywhere. You literally put it on your cars and you wear a hat and there's no clandestine anything going on with you guys."
Right. Hey, we're the
X-Men
X-Men. Here we are.
subtle. Yeah. X-Men are a little bit more subtle there, except on their uniforms, but yeah.
Yeah, and I think this is also.
But I did see that. I did see that, man.
Yeah.
So that's hilarious. That
Okay.
You caught on to that too.
And I think this is the scene. Of course, I was probably very slow to the game here, but this is the scene where as they're talking about the power broker, that I'm assuming that is the person that sent her the text of you stole something from me and I'm going to kill you now.
Right. And that something happens to be
the super soldier serum.
Soldier syndrome.
Yeah,
man.
The triple S.
The triple S. Yeah. Yeah, you know. But she actually has a really good reason to, I guess it's not really good, but it's an empowering reason. She wants to empower the people in the camps.
Right.
And so they can fight for themselves because these GRC guys, as we find out later, they're holding back all these supplies,
Right.
They're not getting it to the refugees. And
because after that, then we were back with I won't even, I won't even call him current Captain America. That's just Walker.
Walker and Hoskins, man. They're
back at
they're at the prison where Zemo broke out in Munich there.
Okay. I didn't pick up on that. Okay.
Yeah, because they're like, wait a minute. Sam and Bucky were here at the same time as the breakout. Oh, okay, I know what's going on.
Well, and Battlestar tells Walker, you better not bring this up without evidence because you don't. I know what you're thinking, but you can't say this without your evidence. And Walker says, "Well, I'm going to go find some evidence." And I think and the conversation of how he was going to go about getting it was a little questionable, and it's starting. Everything is starting to get to him a little bit because all of a sudden he says, "You know what? Forget procedure. We're just going to worry about results."
Yeah,
and it was okay.
Yeah. The polish is starting to tarnish.
Yeah.
So back to Zemo. Yeah. So back to Zemo on Zemo's plane. They kind of have this conversation about the shield. They go back. They're talking about Isaiah. They're talking about Bucky's still, Sam says, let me start over here. Sam says, maybe we should have destroyed the shield.
Yeah.
Bucky says, if you're going to do that, man, give me the shield.
Right. You can't do that. Yeah.
Right. And I don't think Sam can stop Bucky from taking that shield.
Yeah, I don't think.
Honestly.
I don't think he can.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Especially if he doesn't have his wingsuit. But
yeah.
So we get through that scene and we get back to Lithuania with Carly and Dojik, and they're stealing
6 months of food and supplies.
Yeah, that the GRC was just sitting on.
Right.
And she blows up the car with 2 people in it. And she's like, well, this is the only thing these people understand, because Dojik's like, why would you do that? You just murdered 2 people for no reason.
Yeah, because he says there were still people in there, and she says, well, this is the only language these people understand.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. So she's escalating things, man.
Right.
I don't know why they went back to Latvia. And whenever they said Latvia or they showed Latvia, I guess I had my comic book brain out. I kept thinking they were saying Latveria. Latveria is the fake home of Doctor Doom.
Okay.
From Fantastic Four. So I was like, is it Latveria? No, it's just Latvia. So I kept thinking, I guess I was hoping.
Yeah.
But no joy there.
So the 3 best friends are
Oh man, these guys, they're so great. But
yeah, so
I don't know why they went there though. I mean,
I don't know either.
Zemo's taking there for a reason.
Well, they changed their destination in the air. And so they go to the Latvia, and as they're walking, Zemo starts talking about Sokovia and the tragedy that happened, and he says, have you even been to the Sokovia Memorial? Yeah, I bet not.
Right.
You can really tell the disdain he has for these people.
Yeah.
And
just a reminder, we're best friends, but
but I hate you.
But I hate you. Yeah, I hate heroes.
Yeah, they arrive at this building, which we don't know what it is yet. And Bucky looks in the distance, and he says, "I'm going to go for a walk."
Yeah. He sees something on the ground there.
Yeah,
and he's looking around like, "Oh, what's going on here?"
Finds one, then he finds another, then he finds another.
Yeah, I mean, I know that they set this up in the beginning when Sam was trying to tell Bucky that they couldn't let Zemo out because, hey, did you forget he killed King T'Chaka? And he's like, don't forget that. I mean, they kind of gave us a heads up on that. Okay. A little foreshadowing in the beginning. And then I didn't see it coming, man, but
I didn't either.
There's the bodyguard.
Yeah.
Those little beads from their bracelets, the Kimoyo beads.
Kimoyo, yeah. Okay, that's a better way to say it than I was saying.
Yeah. Yeah. But they get those Kimoyo beads, and they basically, can do anything. It's kind of like Batman's utility belt.
Right.
They can do just about anything.
But yeah, and like you, I had forgotten what those were because it's been a while since I watched Black Panther.
Yeah. And I'll just wow, that was a great scene with is it Ayo?
Ayo. Ayo. I'm sure we're pronouncing that wrong, but yeah.
Sure.
Ayo. However you pronounce it, AYO. It was.
All I know is she's a badass.
Yeah. I written down that she is second in command of the all-female army that guards the king.
Okay. I knew she was a bodyguard for the king, but
yeah.
But she's pretty badass, man. And there she is, just standing in the alley, like, hey, I want Zemo's head.
Right. I'm here for Zemo.
Yeah, which I didn't see coming, and I guess I should have. But man, what a cool surprise that was to
Yeah.
me.
Yeah. I mean, talk about, bringing another area into the show. And yeah, I mean, it's fantastic. I loved it.
Yeah, I mean, I just keep forgetting about the connection with. I always think whenever I think Bucky, I think Captain America,
Right.
and I keep forgetting about
That he
all the
spent,
stuff that.
yeah,
Yeah,
that he spent all
all
this
the
time
stuff
in,
that happened.
Wakanda. And
Yeah,
yeah.
I mean, they fixed him up. I think Shuri got his mind straight. They got him a new arm.
Yeah.
They got him peaceful.
They really took
You
care of
know.
him. Right.
Yeah. So it's like you forget about this, and then when
Yeah.
it shows up, like, oh man, there's just so many layers to these characters in this show. It's just, man, Feige.
Yeah.
I mean, you got to give it up to Marcus Spellman too for just bringing this all together. But it's just so great to
Yeah.
have these stories interconnect like this.
Yeah. This was just hats off to them, because this was an outstanding episode. I mean, just an impressive amount of story progress, of characters brought in, of scenery, and just all kinds of different things to enjoy. And boy, what just a extremely heavily content filled episode.
Yeah, it was kind of like you didn't get many deep cuts, deep Marvel cuts in the past couple episodes.
Right.
I didn't, anyways, and this episode just kind of made up for it.
Yeah.
It just kind of was like it felt like a movie to me. This one episode.
Oh
I
yeah,
don't know.
like that could have been like a trilogy of movies, and that was the first one, and it's
Yeah.
setting up the they perfectly set up for the next movie, which they did say that this was supposed to be like one big movie, just like
Yeah.
sort of like WandaVision was,
Right.
and but yeah, this could have easily been movie one in a trilogy.
Mm-hmm. It kind of reminded me of. I know they're not related, but it kind of reminded me of the first episode of the second season of Mandalorian, where we got the Krayt Dragon, and the Mandalorian was, and they found Boba Fett's armor, and they they put so much effort into that episode.
Okay.
With the Sand People and the people of
Yeah.
the town.
Yeah.
And
Yes.
it felt like a movie with Favreau just laying it down. And then this one felt like a movie too. Just so much went into it.
Yeah. I mean, just
it seemed like it was just like a setup for this particular episode. These past two, the last two episodes felt like a setup for just this one.
Just this one,
episode.
right? Yep.
Yeah, to me, anyways.
Oh, definitely. Yeah.
But
yeah,
man, that was just a great episode. Looking forward to the next one.
Yeah, which is what. So that's what we'll cover next week is episode 4.
You got it.
And we'll see what Marvel brings us this next week.
Definitely.
So this has been a virtual review.
Thanks for listening.
You've been listening to a virtual review. If you have questions or comments on the podcast, post them on our Facebook or Instagram page at the links below. If you like what you heard, please like, follow, subscribe, and share.